Yo, what's up, everybody? It's been like, I want to say like 10 months, but here we are. I just wanted to make a quick little off-the-cuff video discussing the brand new uplink terminal, Genesis terminal, whatever the fuck we really want to call it, in the most recent CS update. So as the title might say, or ask whether or not these are good, I'm just gonna go outright and say no, they're pretty fucking bad. They're not very good at all. But before I really go in depth on that, I would like to preface and say there's some good skins in it, so absolutely no disrespect to the skin creators. They didn't really do anything wrong in this scenario beyond just literally making skins that happen to be in this terminal. And like I said, there's some pretty good ones in there. So nothing against those people. I feel like the fault just kind of falls on Valve, if I'm being entirely fucking honest. Because if we look through these skins, sure, a lot of the basic ones are kind of whatever, you know, the blues are blues, they're nothing insane. But you do have some chill ones. Like, I think this is a neat little concept, having all the little ridges in the vinyl. I think that's really cool. I actually really like this P250. I literally got one for myself right here. Got it in minimal wear. I just think it's nice. It's nothing like over the top or crazy, but I just think it's nice. You know, you got cool effects on this one. This one's fine. This one's chill. I really like how the liquidation looks on the M4A1S. I always thought the liquidation was a chill little skin, however it was stuck on the MP5 or whatever, so I think this is really nice. I might even try and get this one myself, honestly. This is a freaky ass skin that I think is cool as fuck. This is nothing insane, but it's just chill. This is kind of whatever. I may have an unpopular opinion here, but I actually don't really like how the Ice Cold looks here on the op. The Ice Cold was one of my first ever AKs, so I hold it near and dear to my heart, but I don't like how it looks on the op here. I've seen a lot of people that like it on the op. In fact, a lot of people like it more on the op than the AK. I don't really agree. I don't really think that, but you know, to each their own. This skin is amazing. However, I wish it was just not on the MP7. It looks fucking fantastic, especially if you have like some purple gloves like I do here. The mirror mosaic is another one I think is genuinely amazing. I have my own as well here. I believe this is minimal wear. Yep, 0.09. Got it myself. And then of course we have, I would say, the most controversial topic of the terminal, and that is the reds. Now they're not controversial, I would say, for anything besides the fact that they cost a lot. Although I have seen a lot of people call the Oligarch a Valorant skin, and to be fair, yeah, it just looks like a Valorant skin. But what I find really funny is the fact that the dude that made this skin, he's not even played Valorant. In fact, the original skin looked slightly different. It was more like silver. I'll throw an image of it on screen so you get like a side-by-side comparison, whatever. It was more like a silver kind of thing going on, and Valve kind of changed it to this gold. Now, to be fair, I think their change was a good idea. There's no disrespect to the original. I still think the original looked good. I just think the gold ends up looking better in the grand scheme of this whole skin. But yeah, I can't deny this shit does look like a Valorant skin. I initially didn't like the M4A4 here, the full throttle. But upon seeing it in game, seeing how fucking shiny it is, I respect it. However, it's not ever gonna go in my loadout unless I magically manifest some green gloves someday, but it's better than I thought. Anyway, enough talking about how much I actually like the skins. Let's crack down on this. Let's get critical. So first and foremost, as I mentioned earlier, the prices are bad. I don't think you really need me to tell you that the prices have been bad. I'm sure you've seen screenshots, videos, everything in between talking about how bad the prices are. A lot of factory new stat track versions of the reds will be like upwards of like $1,000, if not more, I've seen. And the fact that we have no easy way to know why this is beyond apparently this coming from like some sort of demand or something of that sort, we don't know the ins and outs of it, I think is really fucking stupid. Not to mention, you're already paying in most cases, unless you get this in your weekly drop, which is not guaranteed, mind you, obviously. You're already like paying for the damn terminals themselves. So not only do you have to pay for the terminal itself, then you got to pay for the skin, which if you're getting one of the lower tier ones, I'm sure it's whatever. I'm sure this fucking UMP is probably like, I don't know, maybe like $3 in factory new or something, and that's fine, right? But when we get to the higher tier stuff, that's where it gets stupid. Now, one thing that I had in my mind regarding the terminals here, when I read that this was coming in a quote-unquote terminal and not a case, is that this is almost 1000% a way for Valve to circumvent laws regarding gambling. Because obviously, you've played Counter-Strike. You know what cases are. We don't have to really address the elephant in the room because everyone just knows it. It's gambling, right? And this is still gambling. However, there's like loopholes to it, and I imagine this is their way to presumably squeeze some money out of other countries in the world that have those laws in place. And while initially I thought this was just pure speculation on my end, then we got an update that more or less all but confirmed it. And one thing to note that I do find a little funny is in the patch notes for that update, in which it stated different countries that could now access and unseal the terminal, so that part of it referred to people as customers. And while I understand that's technically true, it is a little funny, I feel. So yeah, this terminal clearly exists as a way to circumvent that, the way like the X-ray cases or whatever it's technically considered, an X-ray package, I believe, for like the P250 from however long ago exists to also circumvent those kind of like laws. Now, do I think Valve is going to do more after these? Truthfully, no, I don't think it's very likely. People are not enjoying the terminal at all. People are very, very critical and very, very harsh on the terminal. And it's pretty fucking justified, honestly. I think all the criticism Valve is getting about this is entirely fucking justified. If there is something I do think is moderately cool about this, is that you have this original owner certificate from the terminal. So if you get something, if you actually buy something from the terminal, it will come with a quote unquote original owner certificate. And while that is nice and cool, I think the fact that it is easily lost, if I were to chuck this in like a trade up, for example, it's just gone forever. I think if there was a way to somehow keep that, and get that on other skins, maybe through strictly like trade ups or something, I think that would be really cool. Is Valve gonna do that? Probably not. It's too cool an idea, so that probably just won't fucking happen. As well, there's a weird fucking thing in this that I guess I can show off by just unsealing a terminal here. So let me do that real quick. So there's a thing you have in here where you can quote unquote get bonus XP from seeing all the things in a different rarity of this collection. I believe it's essentially just a full level, which, I mean, if you're trying to fucking get your rank up, if you're trying to get like what's it called, your fucking your yearly star or whatever, I'm blanking on what it's called right now. If you're trying to get that, I guess this is an extra way to do that. Do I think it's a good way to do it? No. Do I think they just kind of threw this shit in just kind of cuz? Yeah. Let me go through my quote unquote offers here, see what we got. And while I do that, oh, that's so ugly and battle scarred. That's so unfortunate. While I do that, let me just say my idea, my suggestion for this was, I really feel like if the terminal here was something that could have been simply redeemed in the armory, or even just this collection of skins being in the armory, I feel could have been better. I feel like that would have been significantly better of a thing to happen. Now, I will say, that's not taking into account, I don't know what the exact current opinion on the armory is. I'm not gonna sit here and act like the armory's perfect, but that incentivizes the armory more. It gives people more reason to use it, more reason to buy it. I feel like that could have been a nice little thing in there. Maybe they are gonna throw in something with the armory, given one of the collections is on the way out, but I don't know. But yeah, right here you can see I got the bonus XP thing. Let's redeem it. Congratulations, you have a new rank. So it's like a level up. Although, wow, that looked fucking terrible. All right, let's see our last deal. Let's get this wrapped up with, oh, wow. Wow, this is a pretty bad one. Pretty fucking bad one. Am I gonna buy this? Hell no. So, what do I think of the terminal? I think it fucking sucks. I think there's a bunch of things that could have been better. Like I said, I really feel like they could have put this shit in the armory in some way, shape, or form. and it would have been way cooler like that. I mean, look at how many people have unboxed like the Fever case, for example, or how many people were losing their mind over the Gallery case when that came out. I feel like it would have been a great way to introduce that, but the way they've done it, I think sucks, and I'm not a fan. Realistically, there's a good chance they'll do more of these in the future. Am I looking forward to it? Not really. Do I think cases are better? Kind of, but not really. It's essentially like, this is worse. And I don't know how they managed to make one worse than a goddamn case in terms of like odds and everything, but I mean, there's not even a knife in the damn thing. So you can't even potentially like, I don't know, you know, fucking sunk cost fallacy. You can't even potentially like get back like a $10,000 skin. Not that you would, truthfully, like if we're being entirely honest. But there's not even a knife, so there's not even that possibility. I don't know. I don't think they did a good job with this. Pretty disappointed. Of course, I'm sure I'm gonna get comments asking like, what about the anti-cheat? They need to fix that. Everybody talks about that. I talk about skins here, or at least I have in the past. So I'm here to talk about the skins. I'm not a fucking anti-cheat expert. Of course, Valve needs to tweak that. They need to tweak the feel of the game. That's already addressed by like a million other people though. This is just my 2 cents on the random bullshit they're doing with skins. I know we got a anniversary for CS coming up, I believe. Hopefully we get something cool with that. Maybe we're getting some new collections, maybe a new case, stickers here in the armory. I'm praying that they can at least give us that. If they give us more, that'd be lovely. Everybody and their mother wants operations back. I think I've kind of thought to myself like, yeah, that's just not happening. Just kind of let go of that. Only time will tell. I think I've said about what I need to say though. Appreciate you guys watching. Sorry for disappearing for like 10 fucking months. If we get another update on skins and shit in the next couple days, whenever the anniversary update comes out, if it even comes out, truthfully, then you'll probably see me again real soon. Otherwise, thanks guys for watching. Appreciate it. Have a good one. Take care, and bye-bye.